Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, deep six! That could be it. Delivers this deep six.
We are on the road to WrestleMania. We are just getting finished up with the Royal Rumble. What a night it was. And we're going to dive right in and talk about it. But I am joined by two guest hosts tonight. Our returning co-host, Joey Aguilar, and making his debut tonight, joining us is Joe. We got two Joes on. Double the pleasure, double the fun. How you guys doing?
Doing great, Wayne.
What
And
a
Joe,
night.
nice to meet you, man.
You too. What a night it was, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. We're gonna jump right into the main event first, but the way tonight ended, I haven't seen anything like that since Nexus, or maybe it was an NWO beatdown. It was. I loved it.
Yeah.
Just the way the whole story unraveled tonight was just amazing. So, Joe Aguilar,
Yeah.
and then Joe, we'll go to you. Where do we want to begin with this?
Dude.
With what we just saw.
It's so interesting, right? Because this is like the first Royal Rumble in the 100% Triple H in creative in the driver's seat, right? This is the first Royal Rumble, and the storytelling and just the creativity in the way the whole entire show was booked. I think it just spells a really bright future heading into WrestleMania season, and just like the imagery of the last match, like of the last image of these two best friends, right? This test of loyalty that we've been seeing, this long-term storytelling of loyalty, right? We see the lasting image of two best friends who, we just are organically drawn to, just laying out defeat in the ring. But what we do get is that maybe, they'll be on each other's side, I guess, moving forward. But just the image of them just in defeat, completely beaten, and the bloodline carrying strong, it's what a way to end it.
Joe, what you got for us?
So I agree with most of what was said there, but I'm gonna interject. I don't know how strong the bloodline is anymore. There's cracks there. Where did Jay go? Why did he not stay in the ring? What's the long-term story here? Is he going to team with Sammy and Kevin? Are we going to get a 3-on-3?
Right?
I like that.
We
Yeah,
have
and 3 main event.
And you know what? To that point, you did see the crowd pop as soon as Jay hopped out of the ring. It's like even that, it's just like planting seeds for what's coming up next. You know what I mean? It's like it's great, and it's a great point. It's a solid point now that if it is a 3-on-3, it kind of make things whatever the pay-per-view is, but between now and WrestleMania, that sounds like a pretty cool plan there.
I mean, we could do our next pay-per-view is the Elimination Chamber.
Montreal.
We can see 3-on-3 inside of the chamber.
There you go.
That is very interesting. I think we could see a 3-on-3 temporarily, but I could see Jey Uso going back with this family, coming to his senses, leading to the tag team match of WrestleMania that we've all been waiting for. So I like that 3-on-3 idea for sure. But then I think you're going to see kind of Jay turn there. I think that's how you would do it.
Yeah.
And that's how you build to a tag title match.
Yeah.
All the while, they'll be building for Cody Rhodes, and then he'll have his program with Roman Reigns.
Right. You can even do another one-off with Seth, between now and then just hit the ground running from Elimination Chamber to WrestleMania. Focus on Roman.
True. Now, the big thing is, right, we're talking about Roman. Is he going to defend both titles against Cody? Or are we going to see Cody say, no, my legacy is the WWE Championship?
That's a fair point. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it could go either way. I mean, we've been hearing for months now that you know, these Sportskeeda and you got whatever they and other websites, Pro Wrestling Guru. You got to take what they say as a grain of salt.
Of course.
Yeah.
They've been constantly, you know, probably for the clickbait, but constantly reporting that it's going to be somehow Roman's going to split those titles and maybe have 2 title matches for Mania, or Roman's going to lose one of them at some point. And this is what we've been hearing through the dirt sheets. Again, they're just dirt sheets. I take it with a grain of salt. I can see. And you know, I'm not even too sure at this point we're even going to get The Rock versus Roman Reigns at this point at this year's WrestleMania. That could be saved for WrestleMania 40, which would be even bigger WrestleMania, Philadelphia. But I'm not even. I would probably tell all the listeners just not to hold your breath on a Rock Reigns at this year's WrestleMania, but you can definitely have the Rock Reigns night 1, night 2 Rock Reigns Cody. You do something like that, but not sure where they're going with that. I'm not sure where they're going with the title. We do know we're getting Roman versus Cody, and I'm led to believe that he's dropping one, if not both, titles at Mania. I think that we know. I think we can probably all agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean, at that point, it would be time, you know, and not to mention just like all of like the emotional investment in bringing Cody back the way that they did, you know, and then having that payoff during the Royal Rumble match that, you know, and I'm sure we're gonna get into it, but like it's just at this point, it's full throttle on Cody from here until WrestleMania, you know. Keeping him healthy, keeping him pushed, you know, giving him the spotlight, having him do a crazy 5-star match during Elimination Chamber, whether it be Seth, whether it be whoever, you know, and then heading into WrestleMania. I think it just writes itself.
We might not get that face-to-face confrontation between Cody and Roman Reigns until Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Or the night after.
I would keep them as far away from each other until we get some clarification on Sammy, Kevin Owens, and the Bloodline.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right now there's kind of like an untold story. There's a story that still needs to be told before you have Roman branch off to have his feud, and it's looking like it's going to be Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which has been talked about for many months now. But there was also that possibility of a Roman Reigns Sami Zayn program too, so I kind of had that to back my mind. But for the most part, it seemed like the leading rumor all these months was KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos, and that would be a banger of a tag title match at WrestleMania.
And what a WrestleMania moment it would be to see Sammy and Kevin. You know,
it's happening. I think it's happening.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
You have to give them that moment.
Yeah, that's happening. They'll be hugging each other in the ring at WrestleMania for sure.
Trading gold,
that
man.
might even close out night 1.
Really could, yeah.
If it just turns out to be Reigns versus Cody, I think you got to have the tag team titles night 1 main event.
And you could, and in that case, you still have Sami Zayn still feuding with the Bloodline, but it just wouldn't be for the title. You know, the title's not in the picture, and that's something that I liked about this whole entire like storyline with Kevin Owens, that the titles were the backdrop of the whole entire story. The story was Sami Zayn. The story was his loyalty, what's going on with that. Whereas like even like when Kevin Owens challenged Roman Reigns for the title on Raw, he was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Right? He was like, I don't really care. And even on Jimmy Fallon the other night, they showed a clip of that from during the pre-show, but even in the clip, he's like, I've been beating Kevin Owens for years, and it was just like, okay, the title, although super important, it's just the backdrop of all of what's going on. The focus here is Sami Zayn, and if that's the case, then the story still has a lot of like room left to be told, even carrying into WrestleMania.
I think the big thing here, like you said, was the story was about Sammy. And the focus was where's Sammy's loyalty? Is it with the bloodline? Is it with KO? It wasn't about the title, right?
Yeah.
The title wasn't significant in this story. As much as everybody likes to think that it's about the title, it wasn't. It was more about Sammy, Kevin, and Roman.
It was the main event. The main event was what's going on with Sammy, you know? And I think they delivered. They delivered, and it was the moment, like, so many people were waiting for it, anticipating. We didn't know when it was going to happen, but there we go.
I liked how they dragged this out, too, at the end.
Yeah.
Like Sammy was getting ready with the chair. It was teasing it.
I love it.
Okay, come on, swing that chair already.
That's it.
Oh, man. Let's break down the match really quick. Reigns comes out. Obviously, was suspicious by their absence. Usos wasn't there. Solo Sikoa was not there in the beginning. Solo Sikoa is going to be a major player. He's already heading that direction. But Reigns comes out with only Sammy and Paul Heyman. Commentators make note of that. And this was to kind of build and feed into the comment that was made by Roman Reigns to Sami Zayn that you need to pass one more test this Saturday night, the Royal Rumble, and that worked out fine in the storyline. How about the blown KO spot? That was a rare miss. I kind of felt bad. He got pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Oh man. And everybody tweeted about that. But we see the ref get knocked out. KO went for the pinfall, following the pop-up powerbomb. The ref was out cold. So there's good storytelling there. And then Roman Reigns with the traditional low blow. Then this is where it all starts breaking down here, when Roman Reigns was asking Sami Zayn for the chair. And Sammy was super hesitant, and it nearly costed Roman Reigns the match when Kevin Owens hit that pop-up powerbomb with the 2.99 pinfall. Like, it could not have got any more closer to a 3 count there. So Reigns wins, and then that's where the bloodline shows up. And man, the mayhem, it was uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
It definitely was. It made you feel something. And that's what we want. We want to feel something as we're watching these things. So to see Kevin Owens in that position and be like, oh my God, when is somebody going to help him? When is Sammy going to turn? Right? And they really kept us hanging out. Like, okay, where is he? When's he going to come back? What's he going to do? When is Sammy going to be the hero that we all want?
Oh, and let me tell you something, that Roman Reigns garnished nuclear heat tonight. All 55,000 people chanting "F you, Roman." Nuclear heat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The heat that he got. You know what? And this is good heat too. It's not go away heat.
Sure.
This is a well-earned heat that he got. Legit. And it just goes to show you how much people love Sammy here.
It's natural heat.
Yeah.
And I think there's only one other person right now that can get more heat than Roman. And that's Dominic Mysterio. But we'll touch on that in a little bit.
Let's do it. So we'll come back to the men's championship match between Roman and KO for final thoughts tonight. But let's get through the card. The men's Royal Rumble. Pretty good Rumble here. There were a lot of good names here. Gunther lasts 71 minutes, the longest anybody's lasted. Came in at number 1 tonight. And he eliminated Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, too.
Triple H made him a major star tonight.
Good. It's a good choice.
Definitely.
Had the performance of the night.
100%. Definitely. And it was to the point where I'm like, as much as I anticipated Cody very well winning, I was just like, please, if it was anybody at this point to eliminate Cody, It better be Gunther. And like I don't even know if there is this. Even like Michael Cole was saying, what is the statistic of number 1 and number 30 being the last two? You know, even like the times where number 1 has won, those times that it was like whoever was at the end, it was probably closer to, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible storytelling even throughout the whole entire match with Gunther getting in the mix with every big name that was in there.
Yeah.
You know, and so
Seeing
like,
him stand face to face with Brock,
yeah,
such a great moment. You
yeah,
know, and that the back and forth with Sheamus and with Drew was just amazing. Even the brief time he was in there with Karrion Kross, right, and the two of them going at it. Just
I gotta
phenomenal.
make a confession. So you guys know what's going on with my life, and I was just so worn out, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth today. So I'm sitting very comfortably on my couch. My cushions are fairly comfortable, but just the
You
way
fell
I was perched against the pillows, I fell asleep between, I would say, entrance of 9 to maybe 14. So as soon as Lashley eliminated Lesnar, that's when I was like, like, because like the TV
Yeah.
just went loud with the
Yeah.
fans. Like Michael Cole's like, "Oh my God, Lesnar's eliminated! Lesnar's eliminated!" So that woke me right back up, and then I stayed awake for the whole night. It was just a long day. So
Yeah.
I missed little tidbits of the early part of that Rumble match with Karrion Kross. I saw that entrance, and that's actually honestly at that point
Dude.
where I dozed off for a couple minutes.
So
Not gonna lie.
I clocked it. You know, I mean, granted, there's like the beginning, like with the pyro and the intro and all the vignettes and whatnot. But at 8:33, so 33 minutes into the whole entire program, only 2 people had been eliminated. It was The Miz and Karrion Kross.
Mm.
Those are the only 2 that were eliminated. So you really didn't miss too much
Yeah.
up until that point.
Yeah, and I think I missed Madcap Moss too.
Was Madcap there?
I think so. I could have sworn, like I read on Twitter, that he may have been there. I don't even know.
I don't even remember Madcap.
Yeah,
being there.
yeah. I don't. He wasn't in the match.
He wasn't even okay.
Yeah, Ray's music played. He was counted as
Yes.
a number, but then he never
Yep.
showed up.
Saw
Yeah.
that. So I was
Really?
awake by then. I saw that.
Ray was supposed to be number 17.
Yeah.
Dominic came
Didn't
out
come
at
out.
18
At 18
with
his
Ray's mask, which you have to believe that's going to lead to Ray's retirement match at Mania.
Yeah. And you know
Yeah.
what? I gotta give a pat like on this podcast shoulders. You know, Tommy, like, and whoever's been on this show for the last 2.5 years. You know what? And I suppose who's the blind guy with the piano player?
Stevie Wonder.
Yes, thank you. Too much in my mind. I suppose Stevie Wonder would have seen this coming a mile away too. Okay.
Wow.
But we've been calling this Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. We booked this 2.5 years ago by the middle of, let's just say, Dominic came in after WrestleMania 36, but right around SummerSlam.
But
So
aren't you glad that they
since
waited?
then we've been booking this.
But like honestly, aren't you
I'm glad
glad
we're
that
seeing
they
it now.
waited? Yeah, not then.
Absolutely.
Especially not now. Like now, not then. Because do I think that he's ready now? I mean, he's more ready now
More
than
ready
he's ever
now.
been. And
Yeah.
so, like, are they going to punch his ticket now? The other thing is that Ray can still go. Like, the match that he had with Karrion Kross last night, the matches that he's had with Gunther in the past, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal.
Rey Mysterio is still in his like, for me, it's just like watching Rey Mysterio like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? It's just like good for him. And
He has
so
not
like,
lost a step at all.
yeah, and so like if it is like what a way to go, you know, to do the deed with your son and be able to give them the rub on your way out. Like that's every wrestler's dream to be able to do that with their son, you know. But like I would like to see that. I mean, if we can, just, you know, like keep him performing. Why not?
The only problem I have with Rey Mysterio at times, not necessarily now because he's more in an invested storyline now.
Yeah.
Like this is a good storyline. Dom is at a good point, and I know he can improve more from here. But Ray has had the same gimmick, the same theme song, just everything's been the same for the last couple years, and he's
Yeah.
always there. It's like I love Ray,
So
but
wait,
sometimes I need to see a little less of him because it's
no,
just
He's
he
there
just
for the
doesn't
live crowd.
reinvent his
Come on.
character a
Yeah.
lot.
come on.
He's in the
I
business
just-
of entertaining the live crowd that's excited to see him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the kids love him.
The kids.
Again,
Yeah.
it's the same thing with John Cena.
Oh
right?
yeah.
John Cena
Yeah.
didn't change his gimmick all these years.
No.
Same theme music all these years.
And we
Yeah.
we got sick of him at times.
But
For sure.
But the kids always
Yeah.
loved John Cena. And the
My
kids
son
always
Eli
loved Rey
loves Rey Mysterio, and he was very upset when he didn't show up. And I'm like, yes, you're supposed to be upset, Eli. Like,
That's what they want. Again,
and I'm like, and so
they
he's
wanted
starting
the
to get it,
reaction.
you know.
They
But
got
I'm
the
like,
reaction.
yeah,
But what Ray's doing right now in his career is the way he's still working is amazing.
yeah,
I'm led to believe this is going to be a retirement match, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. I'm very much led to believe that Ray would want his last match to be against Dominic.
And I think
And I
so.
think it's right here at Mania. I think it's right here. They're definitely having a one-on-one match this year.
and
That's
I just hope
happening.
that it's clean. If Dominic goes over, I just hope that it's clean.
Yeah,
I don't know if it will be.
I don't know if it will be.
And that, what is that going to say?
rankings-
You know?
I don't want it to be a retirement match, only
Yeah.
because I personally want to see what Ray could do in a feud with Santos Escobar.
Mm.
I would love to see the two of them have a series of matches back and forth.
I wish Santos Escobar had a better showing at in the show tonight. But you know, he had a few cool spots, but I feel like he got eliminated quite easily.
Yeah,
You know, plus, I mean, he was in all the mix up with like the Brock Lesnar thing, so I get it. But at the same time, it's just like I wish that, you know, the dude's got crazy potential.
absolutely.
And like you're saying, like it's so easy to like put like picture masterpieces with guys like Rey Mysterio, you know.
We're going to take a quick pause for a second. To those of you guys that are watching, we are hitting the hot topics tonight. We will probably circle back to the Roman Reigns stuff, but make sure you guys share this, help us out. But most of all, we want to interact with you guys, so feel free to drop your comments right about there somewhere on your screen. We want to talk to you guys and see what you guys also think about tonight's Royal Rumble. I think this is one of the best ones that we've seen in a while. A lot of different things happening. Kept me on my feet the whole night. We'll talk about the dead spot of the night for sure. That's coming up. But make sure you guys share and drop some comments. We want to interact with you. It's not about us. It's about you guys too as well. So getting back to Rey Mysterio, I feel like Rey Mysterio and Dominic is happening. Dominic is so listen, check this out. And the reason why, if you throw Dominic and Rey Mysterio match, Dominic wins dirty, gets more heat, and gets his heel character more over.
Yeah,
Because to screw over Ray like that,
and to maybe
that
even
that
potentially
would
wear his mask.
build more into
Oh yeah,
yeah. You could even do a mask. It doesn't have to be a retirement match. Maybe we could do a mask match. I feel
Yeah.
like something is definitely going to be on the line here, coming up at this WrestleMania season. I don't count on Ray and Dominic having a match by Elimination Chamber, but I believe they're building into it for sure. We have some comments here. We may see Lesnar versus Gunther at Mania. You know what? That's been a rumor. I'm not too sure if that's happening. They might close out the Bobby Lashley Lesnar feud. Maybe somebody was putting it online, like maybe they'll fight in a pit or something, like a cage. So we'll have to see where they go with that. But it seems like Goldberg, they're at least at the moment, are invested in Goldberg Lashley. And then we also got another, Why am I saying Goldberg? It's late. It's 12:30 in the morning here in New York Eastern time. I'm gonna say some crazy stuff, I'm sure. It would have been sick if The Rock returned. Yeah,
Hold on. I'm gonna handle this one.
Go. Yeah.
Love The Rock. Great guy. Great character from back in the day. We don't need him back. I'm going to say it. Give me the heat. We don't need The Rock. Roman doesn't need The Rock to put himself over. He's already the face of the company.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We need to focus on the new young talent. Guys like Gunther. Guys like, a Ricochet. Completely underrated character right there. It was Ricochet. Guys like Austin Theory. If Austin Theory isn't a world champion in the next 2 years, they're doing something wrong. That guy is a major star.
Oh yeah, he's got the it.
We don't need The Rock to come back. We don't need a John Cena to come back. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it. We don't need those people.
I think WWE likes to do it as a security blanket for business aspects.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like the product doesn't need The Rock to come back. I definitely agree. But if he does come back, think about like the publicity, the marketing, all of that is like all of it boosts just because of his name, right? Same thing like with John Cena, even with Batista coming in. Now, if WrestleMania really wanted to go Hollywood, I would do a triple threat of John Cena, Rock, and Batista. All three of them I think could go. Obviously, it's never going to happen, but I'm just saying, if you want to think about The Rock getting there, you may as well think a lot of other things might happen, right? And that's the other thing. I remember being extremely disappointed when Wayne, I don't think you went, but we went to Raw after SummerSlam or during it was The Rock's anniversary of debuting at SummerSlam or something, or was it Survivor Series, SummerSlam, whatever it was.
Survivor Series he debuted.
Okay. Yeah, so the funny thing was we were in Brooklyn for a wedding. We were in the neighborhood. We were thinking about going.
That's right. I remember.
Tired.
So I went.
Yeah, we were just too tired at the
The Rock might be there. The Rock might be there, and of course they're celebrating him. They keep showing highlights, and he's not there. It's like, I'm like, at this point, I'm not. I've gone there. I've gotten my hopes up of hoping The Rock might show up. I don't think he will, And so, but to your point, no, I agree. We don't need it because Roman and the title and Cody and all of that, I think, can carry WrestleMania.
Oh, I get this. It doesn't check this out. How did I not even mention this? It's been rumored all week. Again, rumor, grain of salt. The only people I believe is John Alba and Sean Ross Sapp. The only people I believe. I have to throw that on there. But rumored that WWE is in talk with Stone Cold Steve Austin to have a match with Roman Reigns. What? I don't want to see that. I don't. Maybe if you take the Roman Reigns of now and the Stone Cold of, let's just say 2001, let's go. But no. I do not want to see that on my TV. Now the justifiable reason that WWE, will be like, okay, we're gonna give you nostalgia at night 1, Roman Reigns versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Night 2, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the championship. Which, if they do get Steve Austin, that's probably what's gonna happen. I don't want to see that on my TV, guys.
No, don't want to see it.
No, it's taking away from Cody.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's not really taking away. I don't think it's taken away from Cody, only if Stone Cold, but that wouldn't happen. Roman Reigns will go over Stone Cold. If anything, you're kind of pushing over Roman Reigns one last time before the next night. So that's why you have to do night 1 and Cody night 2. You have to do Roman Reigns versus Cody night 2 main event. That's how you got to close your show.
Well, that's going to close WrestleMania weekend is Cody versus Roman.
Can't do it anyway. We had the return of Edge and Beth Phoenix.
Yes.
Yep.
Great. Little underwhelming performance by Edge in the Rumble.
Yeah.
But it sold the story.
I think it would have been better if Dominic threw him over.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say that we're going to see Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley and Dominic.
Dominic at Elimination
Dominic
Chamber.
elimination
Yeah.
chamber.
Yeah, you got to do that there. You got to do that and maybe just close it off after
Yeah.
that. Yeah, Edge and Beth Phoenix to win. However you want to book that match, but that's you got to do it there. But not a big surprise. It's good to see Edge out, and you kind of had the feeling Beth Phoenix will come back eventually and get her
Yeah.
revenge on Rhea Ripley. I don't think that pans out to a one-on-one match. Not happening. Maybe they do one-on-one at Elimination Chamber, but I'm leaning more towards tag team match at this point.
Yeah, for the mixed tag.
Lashley eliminates Lesnar.
In
Quick,
the
too.
minutes.
Yeah, and Lesnar threw a temper tantrum there, and I love how he got rid of Baron Corbin there with that F5 ringside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it was great, right? So, you see him lose his temper. Like you said, he attacks the referee. They're going to suspend him, right? Because that's going to put off the match that we're going to get. We're going to get it at Mania, I think. Lesnar, Lashley, one final time, some kind of gimmick. Got to be a gimmick match. Whether you do it in the fight pit, whether you do it, you bring back the Lion's Den, right? You do something. A steel cage, Hell in a Cell, something to make it memorable and close it out once and for all. Let's finish it and move on.
Now let me ask you. Okay, so Lesnar versus Lashley looks like they're going that route. Where do we go with Gunther now for the IC title? Do we have Sheamus
Put him up.
get his win at WrestleMania? But then if you go that route, then what do we do with Drew McIntyre?
I think you put the title on the line at Elimination Chamber for the title and have Gunther win that. And then maybe drop the belt at Mania to, maybe Sheamus. Or are we getting Sheamus and Drew as a tag team?
I don't know if we are.
You know,
They're going to call them the Banger Bros.
Which I don't know how they're doing that without even realizing.
Yeah, I think Pat McAfee was having a ball with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pat McAfee, those guys tonight.
Performance of the night, Pat McAfee.
Absolutely.
The commentators were selling their butts off tonight. I enjoyed it. I mean,
They're just trying to pop each other, which is real funny.
Yeah. I kind of enjoyed that dynamic, and I think I want to see that for Mania. Ricochet, Logan Paul spot. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, that was
Let me
awesome.
tell you, Logan Paul, whoever said that this guy doesn't belong in a WWE ring, has no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
This guy is such a natural athlete, and he has picked up this sport probably faster than just about anybody that's ever come in, right? You look at what he's done. He had, a tag match at WrestleMania last year. He had the match against The Miz at SummerSlam. And then he had a match against Roman at Crown Jewel. And now he's in his fourth match. He's in the Royal Rumble. And he put on a hell of a performance. And he eliminated Seth Rollins. So are we going to get Seth and Logan Paul at Mania?
That's a good point. And I would sign me up. They definitely set it up where they could build
a good
it that
high
way.
profile match, perfect for Hollywood.
Yeah.
And to add to everything that you're saying with Logan Paul, he gets the audience. He knows he could feel the heat from the audience, and he fed into it. Whether especially because when he came back, there's a pop because oh wow, he's back. It was a surprise. And anytime someone comes back from injury, and then all of a sudden you see all of the superstars gang up on him, gang up on the outsider, and yet he still proves everyone wrong. And again, it's on purpose, right? It's his purpose. It's his intention to prove everyone wrong and to dazzle everyone with his athleticism. But kudos to him for being able to feed into the audience, knowing that the audience hates him and despises him, feeds into it. It's yeah, that's right, Boomy.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's gonna be a great matchup wherever he goes.
That's why I think him versus Rollins will be fantastic, because the crowd's gonna love to boo him, and the crowd is gonna want to see Rollins be their savior.
Yeah.
Right? We need our visionary to lead us into the future.
Right. And the thing that Logan Paul has got going for him is that he's spot heavy. Like he knows that like he needs to do these high spots. He needs to make sure that like he makes a name for himself by like impressing everyone, right? And so every single time he's geared up, he's given us some type of highlight of the night, you know, and it's
But
like
when have you ever seen a guy come in, a celebrity come in, and in their fourth match, dive halfway across the ring?
oh yeah.
It's unreal.
Insane.
It's unreal. I mean, the only thing he really needs to work on at this point is just continue his character development.
Yeah.
And get that over.
Yeah.
Right. He already has a character.
He can
It's
work.
just now expressing it through this way, right?
Yeah.
Like knowing what to do, what not to do. Because sometimes he can be a little over animated, and it's like we can tell the difference between performance and non-performance.
Yeah.
So this next match, some people are gonna criticize it. Some people enjoyed it. But we had the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. And you know what, guys? I took notes on this match, but let me start off with what you guys thought about this.
All right, here we go. Wrong outcome.
Okay.
I think if you wanted to sell this story of Uncle Howdy, the Wyatt Six, or whatever we're gonna call them, right, moving forward, this should have been the showcase of LA Knight. He should have won this match. There should have been some interference, something with Uncle Howdy where it cost Bray the match to further that story, but to solidify the star power of the megastar LA Knight. So I think we had the wrong outcome here.
Joe?
So I think that I mean I'm still intrigued, and it's done its job where obviously I want to know what's happening next, and so of course I'm going to tune in, right? Like if that's their goal, great. I agree that and here's the thing too, like the way that they've been booking LA Knight, he's got all this charisma, but he always loses, you know? And it's just like at a certain point, I mean, LA Knight, back when I believe his name was Eli Drake back in Impact.
Yeah,
right?
Yes, you're right.
And he was an Impact World Champion, you know? And so I'm like, he comes over to WWE and it's just hard. It's hard for me to like get behind a guy who I know can really go and who has the audience too, you know? Like he's gotten the over. And so like, he should be winning, you know? And I think you can still keep what happened after the match, even with LA Knight winning.
Yes.
You know?
100% agree.
So WWE's got some explaining to do. It's still an unwritten story. We're gonna have to see what happens there. How do you guys feel about LA Knight's ring work in general?
I love it. I love the guy. I love everything about LA Knight. He is exactly what he says he is. He is the megastar.
I mean, he's got a great presentation. He can talk. I like his mannerisms. He's got a pretty good look.
Yeah, they had the announce table spot. You know, Bray Wyatt up on the steps, and he like kind of perched up real quick and did the quick drop, and that looked really cool. And especially with the glow in the dark confetti, like
that was really cool.
Visually, I think the match was kind of obviously was super gimmicky.
But it was like, better than the red Hell in a Cell and the red lights, though.
Yeah, and I liked it better than the crickets on the mat with like the.
That was like more of a live crowd complaint more than anything.
Yeah. This one I think it transferred well on camera, and the paint I thought that was good.
They're very intentional about LA Knight shorts. That stuck out. So Bray Wyatt's face paint was a little bit. So how did you guys feel about Uncle Howdy jumping off the? I guess we can call it a puppet stage because we saw the puppets arrive afterwards.
You know, Bo Dallas did phenomenal in that spot. Come on, because we all know who it is. We all know it's Bo behind that mask. Whatever the story,
I'm not too sure if it's ever going to get revealed.
and it may not.
Yeah.
But whatever the story is here, it's definitely intriguing.
Yeah,
It was
for
a
sure.
great spot, and then we continued it on into the next match, which we'll get into
Right.
here in a couple minutes. But that process of, well, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know, where is this going? What am I going to see next?
You know what? I just think, just for the sake of that spot, I just wish that the women's match happened before the blackout match, just because then you could have Uncle Howdy in person before the spot, still kind of have his little thing at the end of the women's match, and then like, okay, we know that Uncle Howdy's here, and then he shows up and does the spot at the end, and like that's the last time we see Uncle Howdy. That seemed to me just like a logistical sense. I think that would have been a easier to do. But still, having just both back-to-back matches like be tied together in this, Uncle Howdy Wyatt family thing, I think is really good storytelling moving into WrestleMania, because whether or not Bo Dallas is going to be revealed, it's crazy to know that Uncle Howdy has come to play. He's not here to just be a manager or anything like that. Like, no, he's doing this crazy high spot with, from this huge landing. And even creepy was those live in-person puppets, because I don't think that there were like hand puppets. I think they were like people.
No, they were actual people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. I like the whole puppet thing. I kind of missed that for the longest time. The puppets have 9 lives. It's amazing. But now this segues into the women's title match between Belair and Alexa Bliss. We'll run through that really quick. We see Alexa Bliss take control of the match early, playing off her renewed vicious character that we've been seeing the past couple weeks. She's dominating early, but then Belair wins with the KOD. She retains the title. I suspect that Belair's title reign is going to end at WrestleMania. We'll get there in a second. But then we get the video package. The video package with Alexa Bliss. She's sitting in a ring after her defeat, upset. And then a video package comes up with Uncle Howdy showing all the past footages of her past year or two in WWE. And then we get the message. Uncle Howdy's asking, do you feel in charge? Do you feel in charge? So I'm curious about what's happening there. But another point I wanted to get to in this match is something just felt like it was missing. I believe the match was kind of in a dead spot. Fans were tired from the previous couple matches.
Sure.
This match was in a dead spot. It kind of felt a little flat.
Yeah.
For some reason.
For me, this was the worst match of the night.
And it was a little short too.
Yeah.
It was. I don't think Alexa got her fair due in this match. I'll be honest, I am not a fan of Bianca Belair at all.
Really?
Stand her.
I liked her.
I don't want her on my TV screen.
Wow. Really? See, no, I like Bianca. She had a great match with Sasha at WrestleMania when she won the title the first time. I think that match was great, and she has good matches. That's the most frustrating thing. Where I agree, I think that she should be dropping the title soon. I don't know where she would go from there, though. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe just give her a little time off.
Yeah, we have a couple of returns that we're gonna get to, of course, but like, you have such a saturated talent pool with the women. Like, the talent is there. I mean, it's got to be something where, like, if she's going to hold the title, she needs to have these banger matches. And like, I can't remember like the last time I thought, wow, that was a crazy banger of a women's match. At least with Bianca Belair involved.
I haven't seen her in any match that caught my attention or that I thought was good. I cannot stand her as a performer. To me, she has no appeal, no charisma. I find her flat and boring, and it's just not for me. I know I'm probably the minority that thinks that, but
No, I don't think you are.
I don't want to see her on my TV screen. I'm sick of hearing Bianca Belair and the EST crap. I don't care. I really want Alexa Bliss to be running this women's division on Raw. Not a huge fan of Rhea Ripley either. I think this whole gimmick she's got going on with the Judgment Day and everything, in all honesty, it's kind of weird. It's like some S&M bondage gimmick with Dom, and I think I already think it's overplayed.
One thing I think that is extremely entertaining, though, and it made me pop. It popped me for sure. Was Corey Graves nonstop trying to reference Dom's prison time and how he's been so hard.
I love that.
It popped me all the time. He's like, he spent time in Gen Pop, and he's fighting off all these shivs and all the
Which the whole prison Dom thing is great. It
it's like it's stupid. Like I 100% agree, but I just think that it's weird. It's super weird. Down to Finn Balor's masks coming out.
Yeah.
Like those are weird. And so yeah, I get it. Although the only thing I will say about both Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley is that they're products of NXT, and to think that like that's like almost like the second class or even like the third class of like NXT graduates that we've seen come up and try to be like the top end of, you know what I mean? And not to mention Rhea Ripley was in the main event of WrestleMania because she defended for Royal Rumble, right? Charlotte Flair won.
She lost to Charlotte,
and she lost, but she was technically in that main event picture, just a couple of years ago. And to see her from where she was then and where she is now, she's already been Raw Women's Champion too, and so she's climbed the mountain. And even if that's the WrestleMania match that we're gonna get, that we're gonna see Belair versus Ripley, I don't think Joe's gonna be happy, but no. I think that's where we're headed. Unless Rhea Ripley goes to Charlotte.
Break.
Yeah. So I mean, Rhea Ripley could go two ways here. There's a story to be told either way. She could have her comeback match and get revenge from WrestleMania 36. She can go that route for sure.
Yeah.
Or she can go the Rhea Ripley route, which they teased. I'm sorry. Rhea Ripley can go against Bianca Belair, which they teased a couple weeks ago backstage when they walked past each other and looked at each other. So they teased that.
Worth mentioning that I think it was last.
I'm leading to believe that that's going to happen. Otherwise, why are you going to do that?
Yeah, last year
backstage stuff.
I think Bianca Belair won Royal Rumble last year, I believe, right?
No. Ronda won.
Ronda Rousey. That was right. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. But also last year we were supposed to have this match of Bianca and Rhea Ripley at Hell in a Cell, but because of Rhea's injury, she wasn't cleared to wrestle, so she didn't get that match. So I think that's what we're finally going to get at Mania.
Yeah.
But again, I have no real. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't know why. I think with Rhea, they're trying to recreate that whole Eddie China dynamic with Dom and Ripley, and it just doesn't work.
It's working with some people.
I think it's entertaining. I don't think it's not to say that it's like, I don't know. And plus, Rhea Ripley knows how to work the crowd too, and she's getting in the mix with the guys. I would never wish this upon a woman, but like it's coming, I think, right?
Yeah.
It feels like it's coming that she's gonna take a spot. She's gonna get a bump at some point.
Yeah.
And right before we talk about the Women's Royal Rumble, they announced that the next stop is Elimination Chamber, which we talked about minutes ago. We believe we can get a 3-on-3 there, and probably Jay turning to create that tag team match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. It's I don't know. For me, it's a little too early to book Elimination Chamber because I feel like WrestleMania, which is the next wave, is easier to book. But I can definitely see that 3-on-3 we talked about, and where they go from here. Is it's they're gonna do the Edge. That's gonna happen. Edge Bet Phoenix. I believe that's gonna happen too as well. But yeah, that's in Montreal. 9-hour drive. Saturday night. Is it Saturday night?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Anyhow, yeah, it's really. I mean, I've done longer drives, but anyhow, we'll break down the women's Royal Rumble now. Rhea Ripley came in number 1, and the whole purpose, and not to mention, earlier tonight she got attacked by Beth Phoenix when Beth Phoenix came out to defend her husband in the middle of that brawl. So Rhea Ripley came in.
It wasn't a major attack. It was
spear.
A little, yeah.
But I get where WWE was trying to do that. They kind of wanted to enhance Rhea Ripley overcoming the odds on top of coming in number 1. But her and Liv came in number 1 and number 2. And Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan were my top 2 picks to possibly win the Rumble. So I nailed that right.
They were the first 2 in, and the last 2 left.
Loved it because it made Liv Morgan look a little strong there too as well. And Asuka had some heck of a performance tight as well.
Asuka had the return of the night, did she not?
I believe she did. I believe she did. We lost Joe for a couple moments. We'll bring him back. But yeah, she did have a very good return. I mean, her mask, her presentation, her hair, new face paint. It looks fresh. Fantastic. And man, she can work. Absolutely. She can work. She's one of the best in the wrestling business right now. Dana Brooke, I feel like she comes in at 3 every single year. But Dana Brooke, she botched the spot.
What else is
good? B-Fab lasted 26 seconds.
What a waste of an entry.
Absolutely. Cole says she still would have lasted longer than Top Dollar.
So they're burying. They're going to bury in their. They brought Hit Row back just to bury them all.
Top Dollar is like in the doghouse, not necessarily for behind the scenes, probably, but just for that mess up. I think this is just all a rib.
I mean,
but yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. If they made that trio a little bit more serious, I could probably get into it. Maybe try to get what's his name back from Swerve. Maybe get him back.
He signed a long-term deal.
It is long-term,
yeah. and he's doing well. I mean, I kind of like where he's at.
I feel like I haven't seen him on TV in a while, unless he's been on
Rampage. Got his whole thing. He's got, what is it called? Mogul Enterprises, something like that.
Yeah.
He's got one of the guys who used to be on NXT, the guy with the tattoos.
Parker Bordeaux.
Yeah, Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Big guy.
Brock Lesnar lookalike.
Yep. Yeah, and then the other guy with a whole bunch of face tattoos.
Yeah, the guy from used to play in the NFL or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NXT champ Roxanne Perez shows up, and she impressed tonight for the 20, 30 minutes she was in there.
She did.
She really impressed. 20 years old. She's got a good career ahead of her. Trained in the Booker T school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks great. She was one of my favorites in that Women's Royal Rumble match.
I gotta say, you know who had a standout performance in that match? Was Zoe Stark.
Yeah, yeah, that's on my list too. Zoe Stark. She came in and she went to work.
I can see her on the main roster.
She's one of the best. Oh, absolutely. You got to get her up there.
I was disappointed with Natalia's performance in there. They didn't give her enough time. I think we needed more of her.
She changed. She tweaked up her look a little bit. I noticed.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, the most disappointing part of that whole Women's Rumble, Chelsea Green.
Oh my gosh!
I completely forgot.
How do you bring Chelsea Green back?
Just to bury her right away.
Like, thanks for coming.
She had the quickest. She had the shortest Royal Rumble
2 seconds.
It's it. It's shortest ever out of the women. And it's a shame because she has a good look and everything. Like she, I feel like, she can go places. I would have not done that. I would have done that to maybe somebody like Dana Brooke or I don't know. I didn't like that too much.
I would have done it to Liv Morgan.
Eva Marie. Would have done it to Eva Marie.
Listen, Liv Morgan is one of your tops right now. She's the more popular.
No.
And
You know who they made a star tonight in that women's rumble with Piper Niven.
oh yeah, that was actually the next thing. Thank God they dropped the Dewdrop name.
Dewdrop. Yeah. And again, Corey Graves and Pat McAfee.
That's how I know Vince McMahon is not even touching creative right now. That's proof right there.
Yeah. But Piper Niven had a hell of a performance, and man, can she go.
Yeah.
I want to see Piper Niven challenge Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title at Mania.
Yeah.
That's the match I want to see.
Why not? It would work. How do we get there though? But it would work.
Or even Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber establish the number one contender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? It'll be different. We haven't seen it.
You know what though? Like, and to that point, we had a lot of like the bigger women like go toe to toe and like have that moment of just like, yeah, like let's soak it in. Let's let everyone see, and then they had that between Piper and Tamina, and the return of Nia Jax.
What a wait.
And Raquel. Yeah, I agree. You're going to bring her back, especially at number 30, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one of those things.
That was a surprise spot this year.
Yeah. And a couple of people trying to body slam her too and not being able to.
Yeah, so. Rhea Ripley got one attempt.
Raquel did too.
Yeah, not great.
Raquel's stock.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, is she not impressive or what?
She's, believe it or not, I mean, she's had some great matches with Ronda Rousey. I like when the two of them go together one-on-one.
I'm not gonna lie. Raquel was my pick to win the Rumble, and the fact that she didn't, and they put.
Yeah, when I saw Rhea at number 1, I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna make it all the way, and so I'm like, if not her, then probably Raquel, and so that's what I was going with.
Well, I was pretty sure that we were gonna get once I saw Beth come out and have that little scuffle with Rhea. I thought for sure we would see Beth in the Rumble, and I thought she was gonna take her out.
Yeah, I could have seen that happening like during the actual Rumble match.
Yeah.
We already hit up the Chelsea Green stuff. That was just crazy. How about the Zelina and Xia Li Street Fighter spoof? I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I did too. Yeah,
it was a good little spot. Entertaining.
Cool. Corey Graves was like, "Can someone play the part of Blanca and electrocute everything?"
He was having a good time.
I popped for that.
Yeah,
and that's coming out in June. The last Street Fighter game was kind of, I don't know. It had a good look and everything. Just pulling off these finisher moves are almost impossible. Like, how am I supposed to do this? Left, right, up, down, right, 2, left, 2.
I only play Mortal Kombat, so I don't play Street Fighter.
No, I haven't.
I love the Street Fighter characters. I love them.
Yeah.
It's a throwback from like Sega Genesis. But they made that game so much harder than what it should really be. Like pulling off and finishing was impossible. So hopefully they improve that.
Mortal Kombat's held up. I actually played that recently at an arcade, and like that's held up. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's shut that up. Michelle McCool. So it's something interesting, a little bit different this year. We hear Michelle McCool's music come off, and she's actually sitting in the crowd, first row. Takes her jacket off. Corey Graves makes sure to point out that she's working in Uggs. But she looks good.
She did. She
couple cool spots.
she had a great performance the last time she was in the Rumble too.
Yeah. They take care of her for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Nia Jax is back, and all the girls team up on her, throw her out, and then I was amused. Nia Jax giving the girls the crotch chop, the DX chop.
Yeah. At the
I
end.
was amused. I'm not gonna lie. I just my concern with Nia is one, protecting the girl she's working with.
Yeah. I was gonna say
And
that was number
Two,
one. for sure.
I'm concerned for her personally, her knees. She had double knee surgeries. I believe they're ACLs.
Was this just a one-time appearance, or is she back for good?
No, she's back. I feel like she's back. I think she's back.
I think it was a one-time appearance.
You think so? Oh man, what my first thought was that and I remember when she debuted, she was talking about how she's The Rock's cousin. Now The Rock's daughter is in NXT, and so like you put those two together as like a tag team.
How is Rock's daughter doing in NXT?
I
She
don't
hasn't
even.
had a match yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't watched NXT in a long time.
I'll be honest. I pop my head in every now and then NXT. It's just
I follow them on Instagram, and that's how I keep up with the highlights.
I'll be watching their pay-per-view next week.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
That's gonna that show is gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because I think they have to end Braun Breaker's title run, and I think they're gonna put the belt on Grayson Waller.
To maybe bring up Braun Breaker after WrestleMania.
Or
I
before? What do you think after? Yeah, maybe after.
Right
Yeah.
after.
He's had a pretty good run.
They might give Waller the title at Vengeance Day, and then have Breaker get his rematch at Stand and Deliver, and then when he loses there,
Makes sense.
yeah,
Absolutely. I can definitely see that. Braun Breaker might be the guy of the WrestleMania 40s going into the WrestleMania 50s. Believe it or not, I can't believe we're even talking about this number of WrestleMania
Over
right
the 40s.
now. Well, it's just mind blowing. Yeah,
You know what was mind blowing when
I
Booker
can't get
T
myself
is
started on
the
that
old
right now.
timer that comes back.
yeah.
You know, like when Booker
And
T
he
came
looked
out-
good until he got thrown out.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh, he got jobbed out like no tomorrow.
man. But like that's when I felt old for sure. I was like, oh man, Booker T is the old guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, he was your nostalgia pop for the men's Rumble,
yeah.
and Michelle McCool was your
Michelle
nostalgia
McCool.
pop for the women's.
Michelle McCool could, the thing with Michelle McCool is she definitely could have had a long run. She could have had a good run. I feel like her career, or she decided to step away way too soon.
I think,
I get that had to do a lot with taking care of Taker,
yeah,
being married, family, kids.
It was also
and
during,
I
like-
get all that.
Like, and also the time period that she was active wasn't the best platform for women wrestling.
no,
you know?
not at all.
No,
And so like she definitely didn't fit in with like,
It was still that Divas era.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, she would have been great now. Her prime then would fit in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
as we're talking about, women and the impact they have, what about Damage Control tonight?
They had a good run tonight. And Joe, remember I texted you. I'm like, watch.
Yeah.
Watch, the Damage Control is going to come out, then Becky's going to come out. Like I just kind of saw it unraveling.
But here's the thing though, and it's almost in every Royal Rumble where the pack mentality usually doesn't win. It really, like, I think I remember maybe one time when Randy Orton, when he was with what's his face, Legacy, in 2009. That's when it was like, okay, it was him, Ted DiBiase Jr., Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
They kind of dominated, and then at the end, Randy Orton happened to win. It helped him along the way. Whereas now, even in this tonight's Royal Rumble, we had Judgment Day, and then it didn't really work out. All of these like teams doesn't really work out. So you want to think like, at what point do the numbers actually will the numbers actually help me? Damage Control, I think, did it great. You know, where like you could see that they really are like being smart about it, and then finally when they were eliminated, it like meant something.
Yeah.
Well, that pretty much wraps up the whole entire pay-per-view of the Royal Rumble. A good night. This was a solid Rumble. We had a solid Survivor Series months before, and ever since the Triple H era started, we've been getting nothing but banger pay-per-views. And or if not like a whole good pay-per-view, there's always something to talk about. And yeah, tonight was just a good night all around. Some good takeaways, some bad stuff, but there was some good takeaways in every match. But where do we go from here, guys? As far as Road to WrestleMania, I mean, we already believe we believe that we're getting. We know we're getting Roman Reigns versus Cody. You gotta do that night too. Possibly Roman versus Stone Cold. I don't want to see it, but that could happen. Night one.
Not getting it.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it. And Stone Cold probably not even going to do it. I think we'd all agree on Usos.
Is there a reason why that's even a rumor?
Well, listen, there's legitimacy to it, probably because they realize that they might not be getting The Rock. So,
it's not.
Oh, we haven't talked much about Austin Theory. Now, we touched on it a little bit. But are we looking at Austin Theory versus John Cena?
I think he made a dig at him. Was it today or no, yesterday in SmackDown?
It was on SmackDown. He came out and he did the champ is here.
He's been doing that lately.
Yeah. I think we're getting it.
That would be great.
And I think you got to put over Austin Theory somehow. Even if he's cheats, you got to put him over, I think.
I can see it.
Yeah.
But at least have a banger of a match.
Yeah, for sure.
I could see that happening at Mania.
I could see that. I could see Cena in his bald spot.
You could see that.
Oh.
And then it's pretty much clear as day. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win the tag titles at WrestleMania. And then what else am I missing from here? Rey Mysterio versus Dominic has probably happened WrestleMania 2. Could be a mask match. After all, Dominic did come out with the mask.
That's true.
Are we gonna get Becky and Bayley at Mania? Are they gonna drag that?
I love that. Like that. I want to see that. The way those two went at each other tonight when they first touched. That was magic right there. I'm like, oh man, I want to see this.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that on Raw 30
because they didn't do too much at Raw 30 other than like the beatdown during the cage, right? So we didn't get the cage match.
It was a clear bait and switch.
Yeah,
and then they had Bianca Belair and wrestling another woman. I forgot who it was, and it just wasn't good. It fell flat. Bianca Belair's matches have been flat lately, and I think it's just due to like cut time, in my opinion. But
I think it's due to just a bad performer. And that being Bianca Belair.
Well, she's definitely better than another girl in AEW, Jade Cargill. Talk about bad performer. Oof. Anyhow. Yeah. So WrestleMania is already shaping up the way it is. I think it's looking pretty good. What are we looking at? April 1st, April 2nd, if I'm not mistaken? That's that first weekend?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So, and then next year, boys, WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. Going to be close to home. But there's just a lot of there's some really good stuff that's coming our way over the next couple of months. This is WrestleMania season, Royal Rumble. I'm probably gonna go back and watch a couple tidbit parts from this Royal Rumble for sure. But we're here, guys. WrestleMania season. This is the best season of all in all of wrestling right now, and not to mention. We're going to be getting fed some pretty good stuff with Bryan Danielson and MJF on the AEW side.
Oh, heck yeah.
Pay-per-view. A lot to look forward. We're really quick, how are you guys feeling about Jay Briscoe before we go off the air?
Oh, oof. I was texting you earlier in the week, Wayne, when you shared the video. I saw the video package earlier than that, but it's hard to watch, man. You never want to see it happen to someone who you feel like could have been a bigger star, and could have done so much, and yet still extremely respected and loved. And you even saw Mi Chin today wearing the J strap on her arm, which was a good touch. That they've let several performers in WWE.
I loved that. Vince would have not even allowed that.
Right.
But
But
I
the
love
fact that
that.
the entire wrestling community has shown support and love for Jay Briscoe and the whole Briscoe family, and even Ring of Honor and all of that. It's really good to see that, like, though a lot of things might divide people, like, at the core of things, we love wrestling. We love wrestling as a culture, as a sport, as something that, and when something like this happens, it's beautiful to see people support.
Yeah, Jay Briscoe was one of those guys who gave his all every time he was out there in the ring. And I've been a Briscoes fan since the early Ring of Honor days, going to see them out here on Long Island when they would come to do the local shows. And always, the Briscoes were always those guys where they would stay and they would talk to the fans and interact with people, not because they were getting paid to do it, but because they loved to just interact and talk to the people. And you see all these videos of Jay Briscoe especially with his daughter, right? Doing the cheer routines with her.
Yeah.
Man, if that doesn't tug on your heartstrings, man, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
I mean, but it tells you something about where the business is, where on NXT, they stopped the program and they said, the wrestling community lost, Jay Briscoe, and, they did a moment of silence for him. And, for that to happen for a guy who was never even in the company.
Yeah.
We saw Kevin Owens had the Jay Briscoe strap on one night. Rollins did it. All these guys.
They were all best buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that 2007 to 2010 era, and even earlier than that with Samoa Joe,
even it's
Danielson.
so great to see, even in the video package on AEW and online, where you see the highlights of Jay Briscoe's career, and you see Kevin Steen, you see TJ Black, you see all of these people that, like, he's like shared the ring with. It goes way beyond just Ring of Honor and WWE. It's like you said, it's the whole wrestling community.
To those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friends. We're also available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, any streaming audio service, but be sure to subscribe. This is not going to be on the podcast. It will remain on the YouTube channel, which is why you should make sure everybody stays subscribed to this. And those of you guys that are watching, Joe Aguilar, thank you guys for showing up and showing out tonight. And for those of you guys that are watching, we might not do a show next week, but at least the week after, we will definitely be back. We will keep you updated on all that. But in the meantime, you guys have an awesome week and enjoy the beginning of WrestleMania season. Catch you guys later.
Good night, guys.